So you guys, the Real Housewives of Lagos season 2 is finally over for now, because you see that reunion, I honestly cannot wait for it to come out. I can't wait to see how it's going to be, the direction it's going to take and everything. But I don't think they're going to release the season 2 this year. I feel like it's going to be next year. So for now, it's over. Let's see how the reunion is going to be. But I'm here to introduce you guys to a new Real Housewives. In fact, it's not even new. They're literally in like season 8. So what am I even saying? It's way older than Real Housewives of Lagos. But I'm sure it will be like new for a lot of people. And then I'm sure some people have already been following up with it like before now. And the reason I picked interest in this is because someone introduced it to me. And then, you know, being that there are 2 Niger babes, Igbo ladies to be precise, I'm like, okay. I feel like this would be more relatable, because with the other ones, I'm like, will I be able to relate? I've not really watched a lot of them. Like I said, in like the first episode of Real Housewives of Lagos I covered, I was like, that was literally my first that was my first Real Housewife I was watching. So now I may actually just be open to other ones. Maybe next year, I will start watching Real Housewives of Durban and we'll talk about it. The other South African ones, I think it will also be relatable. But this one now, there are 2 Niger babes, Real Housewives of Potomac. That's how they've been calling it. So Real Housewives of Potomac. So I'm just going to read it the way they put it up on Wikipedia. The Real Housewives of Potomac, abbreviated ROHOP, is an American reality television series that premiered on January 17, 2016 on Bravo. 2016, long. Developed as the 8th installment of the Real Housewives franchise, it has aired 7 seasons and focuses on the personal and professional lives of women living in and around Potomac, Maryland. Is one of the US ones. So see, this US, they have like Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They have plenty. So let's just talk about this one. I have only seen season 8, so I'm going to be giving my I wouldn't really call this a review per se. This is just an introductory video to the cast of this season 8. Then if there's interest, if you guys like it, then I'll now properly watch it and do like a summary of what the other seasons were like before we forge ahead, right? But if it's not something that we are really interested in, then I don't know, we'll just let it go, and maybe when South Africa own comes, we'll cover it. But yeah, this season 8, a new Niger babe was added, and then from season 5 there was a Niger babe, Wendy. So we have 2 Niger babes, 2 Igbo babes to be precise. And I'm like, I'm also Igbo. So yeah, let's now talk about the cast. Let me just introduce you guys to the cast. So we have some casts that have been there since from like season 1 up until this point, and then some have left. So we have Giselle. She has been there since season 1. She's 53 years old, divorced. She has 3 kids. And then we have Ashley. Ashley is going through a divorce type situation. Like on the show, it was like, oh, she said she's divorced to the guy, but then still spending a lot of time with the guy. And then they were questioning the divorce. Are you sure you guys are really divorced and everything? But yeah, they are still going through it. They've not finalized it. So yeah, she has 2 kids. She's also been on since the beginning, 35 years of age. Herself, Giselle, they've been on since the beginning. And then Robin, 44, she has also been on since the beginning. She has 2 kids. She's married, but then online they were like she's divorced and everything. But like on this episode, this season 8, she's married to this guy that I say she's divorced to. I'm just going to go with what I am seeing on the show. She's married, right? And yeah, she's been there since the beginning too. And the last person that has been there since the beginning is Karen, right? So Karen just turned 60. Her birthday situation came up this season, and I like the way she called it like triple 20. So it's like 20, 20, 20. Just, you know, finessing the whole thing. That's a nice way to say that you're turning 60. And she, like, you know, she's fit, everything. Like, she's giving that I wouldn't call it Gen Z 60, there's nothing like that. But like, she looks really good. And then she has 2 kids. She's married. Like I said, she's been there since the beginning. Then we have Wendy. That's the first Nigerian babe. Wendy joined in season 5. She's married with 3 kids. She's 39 years old, Nigerian Igbo babe. The next person is Candice, 37 years old, married, and they have 2 kids from her husband's former relationship. She joined in season 3, and then we have Mia. She joined in season 6. That's quite recent. So she joined in season 6. She has been involved in like some back and forth that I was seeing. It felt like she has been there since. But yeah, she joined in season 6. She has 3 kids. I think one was from her former relationship, her former marriage, relationship, and then 2 from her present marriage, of which they are even saying that they've separated. On the show, they were together, but in the last episode, they showed a snippet where the husband was saying, oh, I want a divorce, you cheated, this and that and that. And even during the show, she was talking about one time thinking about filing for a divorce. So I think they are actually no longer together, but we're just going to go with what the show is saying for now. She's married. And we have Nneka, the second Nigerian babe. In fact, her name already gives it away. Like, Nneka is Igbo. If you're a Nigerian, you know that that's a Nigerian name, an Igbo name. So Nneka is the second Nigerian lady, newly married, and they do not have any child yet. They are trying for a baby. So yeah, Nneka just joined in this season. So with this particular franchise, they are very like into it, like family members involved in almost everything that's going on, husbands, moms, sisters, like to the extent that they even get involved in fights. So it's like, it's that deep. You get with Real Housewives of Lagos, it's just like the family members are just there for gist. You gist them about what's going on, but they've not really come together. Since they started, we've not really seen any situation where the ladies will come together with their husbands for something. But this one, something like that happened. The husbands were there, the ladies were there, they came for sports. And I think it's actually really nice, like all of them being involved. It gives a more, like it shows, it feels more reality like. Do you get? But these people, like even the husbands, they almost got into it. I say, eh? So the fight is even involving the other family members and all. I feel like, okay, maybe this Potomac is like, because it's season 8, that's why they've gotten to the point where everybody now knows everybody and they can all be involved. Real Housewives of Lagos is just season 2, and this last season they actually went into more details about their personal lives. So I think they are heading towards that direction. But for now, we've not gotten there. But yeah, like I said, the husbands almost got involved. It was a Facebook situation. I do not know you. I did not follow you on Facebook. I followed you. I say, yeah, it was a serious something. But that's just what I observed. And maybe if I watch Durban, I'll say how that is too. And also another thing is that I don't know what their copyright laws are like. I don't know what the copyright policy is like. I don't know. I don't think I can add any videos because the reviews I've been seeing online, I did not see any video. I say, hey, let me not go and do the one that will come for me with copyright anything. So this one, like this video, like I said, is just an introductory video. And then yes, I think we'll talk about the Nigerian ladies, because like they are making wave. Like the blogs I follow Everything Housewives, and they even put out like 2 posts about them and engagement choke. So I'm like, okay, it's like that's the talk of this season 8. So we're going to do a lot of focusing on that. With the other ladies, the fights that were discussed is almost like carryover from the previous episodes, the previous season. So it's a carryover fight, which I cannot fully explain. But this one, at least, this is a new Nigerian lady. I know it's not a carryover fight. It's a new, fresh storyline. So it's easier for me to analyze and just tell and say what I think. So we're going to focus a lot on that. So now, obviously, like they had several meetups, the ladies and everything. And one of the casts introduced Nneka to the show, Ashley. She's the one that introduced Nneka, and she's the one that still started up. Would I say she was the one that stirred the pot in the first place, that made these 2 Nigerian ladies to like be on a very. I was thinking, see, when I was like, okay, Nigerian babes are on the show, like, okay, I'm sure like maybe they are going to maybe get along. They are like this. Let me just break this down. Ashley was doing a housewarming, right? And she invited the ladies. Sorry guys, I lost my audio at this point, but all is still well and good. I made a video before this one, even though the audio wasn't so good because my microphone wasn't connected, but I'm going to add that to this one just to make the video come together. So Ashley was the one that brought Nneka into the group. The group is reminding me of Chioma from Real Housewives of Lagos. So Ashley is the one that brought the Nneka into the group, right? At Ashley's housewarming, Wendy was there first, and then later on Nneka came. And when Nneka came to the gathering, it was this thing where they just greeted, that's Nneka and Wendy, they just greeted like, oh okay, she's also Nigerian too, da 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 da. They didn't greet like people that knew each other before, only for it to now be that okay, they actually knew, and they actually knew each other before that meeting. They actually knew about each other before that meeting. So it's like, okay, what exactly is going on? So now this whole thing has been so deep because it involves having a shrine, voodoo, this and that. That's why it's been so deep, and then people have like been saying different things about it, right? So I'm just going to like briefly tell you guys what exactly caused the beef, what exactly started the beef between them, and then maybe in subsequent episodes when I've gone through like from season 1, then if you want me to like do a proper review, I'll just like go through it, or maybe we'll not do. So at Ashley's housewarming, she also stirred the pot, like I said. When Wendy came, she pulled her to the side and was telling Wendy about Nneka, that she had a conversation with Nneka, and then Nneka brought up like this allegation about her, this news. So there was this news online about Wendy being like cursed and outcast and everything, like Osu. So Ashley presented it to Wendy as if it was Nneka, the new Nigerian lady, that brought it up. So it now seemed like, oh, this new Nigerian lady is already talking about me, like you're just coming, they come and you're saying things about me. So that's how it looked, the way Ashley presented it to Wendy, that's the older Nigerian lady. Meanwhile, it was Ashley that brought up the conversation about the whole like Osu thing. I think she wanted to know what it was all about, like what is an Osu. Nneka and I explained to her like Osu outcast. So it was just her responding to the question that Ashley asked. Now Ashley realized later on that she messed up by giving the information the way she did, and she now went ahead to, would I say, change the story. She now told Wendy, the older Nigerian babe, that that's not how it happened, that this babe did not say this about you, just so that there will not be any tension. But I feel like there was already that tension from that. So now, how did the whole shrine thing come about? The time they now met with their husbands, you guys, this particular fight was happening with their husbands gathering, like in the gathering. They had like this game time, sports session with their husbands, right? So they now gathered to like, after the game session, they gathered to like gist and everything. And yeah, see me, I wanted to jump into the second part of this gist. So first of all, Nneka pulled one of the ladies, one of the OG ladies, Robin, I think it was Robin, she pulled to the side and was just saying her about Wendy, that Wendy's, let me I don't have to explain this thing, that was not be confusing, because this thing was almost confusing my brain. So she said that her husband's cousin, yes, that's her cousin-in-law, her husband's cousin, knows Wendy's family, like is more like a friend of the family, like knows Wendy's sister. I think she also knows Wendy. They call her Lebe or so. So she said that Wendy's mom and sister was calling that her husband's cousin and saying that Nneka was using her name to like more like chase clout or make it seem like, oh, she knows this person and she's trying to like get into the club. According to Nneka, she said Wendy's people, they were feeling like, okay, she was trying to use her name to climb the ladder. And people see that way, trying to use her name to climb the ladder. So now Wendy's mom, according to her, I do according to, because you don't know which one way to enter. So she was now saying that Wendy's mom was like calling to say that, okay, there's a sin to use somebody's name, and that she's going to take her name to a shrine, to her shrine, right? And you know, there was also this talk about praying against her. She also spoke about praying against her. She'll take her name to a shrine, she'll pray against her, blah 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 blah. So now Nneka already disted one of the ladies about it before that whole gathering, and then when that gathering now happened, that's when Nneka now brought it up again and now spoke about what the older Nigerian babe's mom and sister did, like calling her and telling her all those things. So when he was like, oh, what are you talking about, like what are you saying now? And then Nneka now said that that's what happened, and they were expecting an explanation from Wendy, but it was almost like she was like deviating, if I may say, because she now, from the conversation, like them turning around trying to understand what's happening, the next thing she's like, okay, she doesn't want to have a conversation with her. She wants to have a conversation with another lady in the group that she had insulted the life out of, like, you know, called her names and everything. She was like, okay, now it's time, I want to have a conversation with you. Even the lady was surprised that, you want to have a conversation with me? So it was kind of like debating, which made it like kind of believable. So, but now the whole thing is, like I said, I said I was not going to go into it. How did I even start gisting and getting to, how did I gist and get to this point? So now the whole thing is, like, as a Nigerian, the shrine thing, a lot of people are just talking about it. But the only thing I see when it comes to the Nneka's part, she went in like so hard, like this is just still all fresh and new, and then she was just dropping it. Your mom did this, she called this, she went in so hard. And Wendy was dumbfounded. I don't think it's something she expected to ever come out. You know, that kind of thing that is like happening behind the scenes, and then you're expecting that, oh, this thing will not come out, and then it comes out like that, and you don't really know how to go about it. So the only thing is that Nneka just came so hard, and I feel like maybe if I was in that situation, I would have maybe let it, maybe later on in the show, maybe when everybody has gotten to know me like normally, then I'll just bring it up and be like, okay, this is what happened, or I almost did not come on the show, or this person did not want me on the show, or maybe call her to the side and speak to her about it, right? But I do understand her paranoia, if I may say. If someone says that they didn't take your name to the shrine, you go fear now. And this whole thing, she was explaining, Wendy was explaining that the whole shrine thing is not so much of a bad thing, and that, you know, as a Catholic, she's a Catholic, and in the Catholic church, you know, you can have like shrines. So yes, I do agree that some things like altar, we have like altar, we set up like statues and everything, and you have like Margaret's shrine. It's almost like a chapels, altars, you know, those are things, but we mostly call it like altar, chapel. And our church shrine is not where, I mean, our church shrine is not where you carry somebody's name and go and pray against them. So, you know, you can't now say that's what she meant, right? So I do understand Nneka's paranoia. If someone in Nigeria, if someone tells you they're taking your name to shrine, it's giving, I'm gonna take a picture, they will you know, all these Nollywood movies where it's like they will carry your picture and maybe punch nail or something, and you will not progress, or all those things, you know, that kind of thing. Like, so it's what someone being paranoid about and being scared, like, okay, why would you do that? It's just unfortunate that they did not start off on the right note. And another reason why I feel like why I really see, me that's watching me for the first time, I kind of like was tilting towards like what Nneka was saying, was because, like, if someone is talking about my mom like that, you're saying she says she will carry you to shrine, this and that, and it's absolutely not true. Me and you will fight, though. We are going to fight very, very well. Like, what does my mom have to do with anything? Like, why my mom be calling you, like, you know? So, but the way Wendy was reacting is almost like, okay, and then the deviation from what it was, so it's like, okay, maybe that actually happened. So I think it was just a thing of Wendy, that's the first Nigerian babe that joined the show. Maybe she just wanted to, like, you know, that kind of specialty of being the only Nigerian babe, or being the only black person in the place, or being just that special type thing, right? Or maybe she didn't, maybe it was just that. It's a lot, yeah. It's a lot, but just know that the two Nigerian babes, they are at loggerheads, and it feels like that is going to be the narrative of the story. There are other fights, like other people, but it just felt like those were old fights, or old fights that were brought back, that were unresolved. We have Robin and her husband's situation, you know, he cheated on she said so, like, her husband's cheating situation. We have Karen that was just trying to, like, you know, bring up the Robin gist. Robin cried. Candace that also had certain things to say about the ladies. And then Ashley, the one that she sabi stir the pot. She seems like someone that knows how to really, like, stir the pot. And then you know, several other things. Their trip was nice. Their trip to Austin was really nice. Like, they had fun. They went kayaking. Yeah, the hotel gathering was also nice. They didn't even play any game. They wanted to play a game, or they wanted to do an exercise, but fights did not allow them. In general, I think that is really nice. If I can watch from season 1 or season 2, I'll try and, like, you know, see how that is going to be. or I'll just continue from episode 8 of this season 8, because it's this season 8 that is really catching my interest. But maybe I'll just like watch it to know the background gist. This was supposed to be an intro video and I've been talking for like how many minutes? So let's see how it's gonna be. So that's it for this video. I just wanted to just introduce you guys to a new Real Housewives, and just know, I will also want to know people that are watching it, people that watched it, so that I'll know how to operate moving forward. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Bye, love you.